I like that even with like fictional people, you don't mind taking a jab here and there, especially with Lovecraft, which I was rereading the first issue and I was just laughing my ass off. I was just
Yeah, I do
like
some pretty crazy things to him, don't I?
yes, I that second issue, it was one of those. Oh my gosh.
I love curiosity. I personally a very curious person, and I think you are too. Obviously, like, from what you're asking me, so I love that as well. Like, do these things really line up? Were these people alive at the same time? Were they possibly working together? I think those kind of things are really interesting. And then maybe someone will read this and go and look it up and say, "Oh yeah, this is real." Like they really were working together. Lovecraft and Houdini did work on a book together, which is
Yeah.
kind of fascinating.
Yes. Like I think different personalities, and yet it was just like somewhere in there was a cross meet of
Yeah.
crossing of the streams, if you will, of just like, okay, let's just work on something together. And
Yeah.
I think the first, I mean, again, like I freaked out when I saw the image and I was like, wait a minute, what the hell? And then it wasn't until this that I was just like, again, not I like history, but usually I need to find something. I need a hook to get me into going into a specific age to go in
Yeah.
fully. And besides being out of school and not having to be mandatory, but like the fact that like I saw these panels and was like, did they really meet? I was like, what? And when again a little bit of research, I was like, wow, they did meet. And I was talking to a relative of mine who is a Lovecraft fan, a fan of Lovecraft's work, mind you, of his work, because my relative was very clear, like, oh yeah, he was of his times. I mean, and then I remember him, I'll never forget it. My relative was like, look up his cat's name, and I was like, why? And I looked it up. I was like, oh God. I was like, are you kidding me? And it's like, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this from his book? I mean, no, that's not from his book. And I was like, okay, that is the times, I suppose. But I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah. He was kind of he was a racist.
Yeah.
He was a piece of work, but but his work was really interesting. And
Hmm.
I think one thing I connected about with him is I have a sleep disorder, and I've been diagnosed as a idiopathic hypersomnia, as having that. Like, I have a really hard time sleeping. I have nightmares every night. I have done some of those dreams where you leave your body kind of thing. And so I could relate to that with him, like the
Right.
nightmares and all of that. And I think a lot of his trauma is coming out through his nightmares. And I think that, and he's putting it into his books, like all this
Yeah.
stuff. So when I was reading it, I was thinking, oh, like he's got trauma, like, and it's probably sounds to me like it might be sexual with all these tentacles.
Right.
Like, so, like, I don't know, like, it just seemed like, why is he so obsessed with Cthulhu and these sea monsters and these tentacles? And so what I do to him is probably pretty horrifying to him, but I think he kind of deserved it a little.
I reread the first issue again, and I was like, I wonder if this detail was intended, but like, and I love what you do is that like you like I appreciate the art or the work he did because it was entertaining and it was horrific, but
Yeah.
I don't run away, or I don't deny that he was a dick. And
Yeah.
I choose that word specifically because you draw him covering Houdini's,
Yeah.
and I was like, if that was intentional, that is cool. That is the most like punk mock of like Lovecraft. You're a genius in writing, but fuck.
It's so funny that you said that. Actually, my editor for the book, he actually said something about that too. He was like, "That's the perfect placement of Lovecraft."
Your blocking is phenomenal, Cynthia.
What's interesting is they really did work on a book together. The cancer, the what is it?
Oh
Um,
God.
the
Um,
cancer of superstition, I believe, something like
yes.
that. And they only got started before Houdini was killed. And you can go back and read the Houdini book about what happened to him and why, possibly if he was murdered, maybe that's up to you to decide.
Mhm.
But um, but that book didn't get made. It didn't get finished. It got canceled. So, the people who were the into the occult, they kind of got their way. That book didn't come out because Houdini was really, really against, thought that they were preying on people who were naive or who had lost people, and they were trying to bring them back from the dead in superstition. So they all the books kind of tie in together. Yes. I like that. Hopefully I can keep doing that.